And Thom Hartmann here with you, and Rusty Humphries here with you. Hey, Rusty.
Hey, Tom. Thank you very much. And I want to welcome everybody to the Rusty Humphries Show and the Thom Hartmann Show. We're doing something a little bit different today for the first half hour of both of our programs, right?
Yes, indeed. And for people who don't know, and you can explain on your end, I'll explain on my end. For my listeners and our viewers who don't know Rusty Humphries, Rusty's a conservative talk show host, has been doing radio for forever, just like I have.
Right.
And a good guy. Rusty and I got to know each other pretty well on a trip to Africa with Ellen Ratner.
Absolutely.
We went to South Sudan and on the Darfur border. And
it was one of those things where who would have thought that we would have really hit it off? And we did. And it's been 5-6 years. We still keep in touch.
Yep.
And I have a lot of respect for you. And I called
Ditto.
And I called your wife up a while ago and said, you know what, I'm coming to D.C. Tom and I should do a show together. She said, well, we'd love to have you as a guest. I said, no, I don't want to just be a guest. What I want to do is, we're sitting in D.C., we're at your studio, which is right across the street from the Capitol. Those guys over there can't get anything done. They can't agree on what day it is, what kind of pizza toppings they want to have.
Right.
And so I thought, well, maybe, since you and I don't hate each other, maybe we can actually talk about the issues and go, okay, well, gosh, I can agree on that, or I can disagree on whatever, and try to find out, is there any common ground between the left and the right? Because if you look at Congress, there seems to be none.
Or perhaps even more interesting, I mean, you and I have had some of these conversations, although a lot of the time that we were in Africa, we were not talking politics.
Right.
We were
and by the way, speaking of Africa, it is as hot in this studio as it is in Africa. I'm guessing this is what happens with the non-commercial stuff. They don't give you air conditioning. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
They haven't turned the AC on in our building yet. So
you're saying in Africa, we talked about some of these things.
I think it's because the Heritage Foundation owns our building.
Yes, let's steam out Hartman. Let's take him down.
I'm not kidding. In any case, I think that there's some interesting. First of all, just an update. Everybody listening to the news wants to know what's going on in Boston. The latest that we have is that apparently these were pressure cookers, these two devices that were packed with shrapnel, with ball bearings and things, and nobody has claimed credit. There's two, I think, probably significant things. One, this is Patriots Day. And well, actually three. Patriots Day. Now, Patriots Day was a different day of the week. It was the 19th or the 20th back when Tim McVeigh did his thing, but it was also Patriots Day.
Okay.
And that, courtesy of Ellen Ratner this morning, she came in and told me that. Secondly, the Boston Marathon, people from over 100 countries participating, so it's an international event. And third, it was tax day.
Okay,
now
see, are you leading towards, because I saw this
I'm
on
not
the
leading
Daily
toward
Cause.
anywhere.
Okay. Because on the Daily Cause I saw today, they were hinting that this is a right-wing extremist kind of thing going on. And being a right-winger, and I don't believe I'm an extremist in any way, I don't see it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be Patriots Day. What I do say, I've studied terrorists. I've actually, Tom, we didn't really talk about this before. I've actually met with terrorists. I've had guns in my back a couple of times. They've threatened to cut off my head. I mean, I've been in deep with terrorists. I've been to Guantanamo 3 times. So I understand the thinking there. And what they're looking for is a big splash. They're looking for a lot of people. The bombs weren't that big. I mean, they're big, they're horrible, but some of the telltale signs of the nails and the ball bearings. Again, I'm not throwing any aspersions, but I'm having a hard time believing that it's right-wing extremists.
Yeah, I'm inclined to think that this is probably more like what happened. I was living in Atlanta when that Richard Jewell was the guy who was accused. He was actually not guilty, and I don't remember the name of the guy who ultimately was. He had also bombed a lesbian bar.
Right, he disappeared in the mountains or something.
Yeah, hid out in the mountains in South Carolina for a year or two. And bottom line, if you were to call him political, I would call him crazy.
Yeah.
So
just like the Unabomber, I can't. I mean, he was caught with Al Gore's book in his hand when he was.
Yeah, but he was no lefty and he was no righty. He was a crazy guy.
Right.
So, and these are 300 million people in a country. You're going to have some crazy people. So, no, I'm not going down any road yet. I think that we need to find out what's happening here. And although both of us have been observing, we had dinner last night, we were talking about this, observing the kind of weird freak show of people who are coming out and, one guy saying, oh, let's kill all Muslims, and another guy saying, oh, it's got to be the right wingers, it's time to, arrest the militia guys and all this. I don't want to get even close to that freak show. I just, let's my personal opinion.
Sure.
Let's wait and find out what's going to happen.
Well, I agree with that. We also have seen, though, a lot of celebration in the Middle East for this attack.
Have we?
We have. We've seen a number of places in the Palestinian area, some other places. That's not right. I mean, we have to...
I don't think celebrating the death of anybody anywhere is ever appropriate.
Of course. And so these are, again, we do need to see what they find out. I believe they will find the right person. The conspiracy theories are going to start coming out pretty soon. That's about, when that stuff happens. Well, they announced such and such at the first 10 minutes, and then it went away.
Right.
Okay, they always announce such and such in the first 10 minutes, and it goes away because the news reports are always wrong at the beginning.
Right. Yeah, so we'll find out what's going on. It's the Thom Hartmann Program and the Rusty Humphries Show.
Thank you.
Rusty Humphries with us. We're simulcasting both our programs. Our audiences are combined at the moment, and will be for the first 30 minutes.
That's a lot of people, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, I think my show is ranked as the 6th largest in the country. You're right up there, too.
I'm 9th, I think.
Okay, I mean, that's a lot of people. Plus, you've got the television audience and everything. So there's a lot of people listening here. And again, the idea is... As two people who don't agree on everything, by the way, we went to dinner last night. We had pizza. I had the meat pizza. You had the vegan one. Very stereotypical. It was awesome. And by the way, the vegan buffet here at the Thom Hartmann Show is fabulous. I enjoyed the tofu, fried tofu. It was great.
Actually, have tofu right here. My miso soup.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're not stereotypical or anything. And you came from Portland, Oregon. Anyway, so...
but you live in Oregon.
I don't anymore.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, no. I live in Joe Arpaio town.
Oh, you moved to, when did you move to Arizona?
I moved to Phoenix Christmas time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, me and Joe Arpaio. I met him once.
But
so the idea is just, where can we agree and disagree?
So here we have 2 minutes until the break. How do you think it's best that people who fundamentally disagree on politics and worldview should communicate with each other in a way to maintain a relationship and yet not betray their own truth?
I tell you, I think the biggest problem that we have in the world today, and you might think this is pretty offensive. When I was a kid, I remember they used to have joke books, white joke books, Irish joke books, blonde joke books, all these joke books, okay? People didn't take themselves too seriously. They could laugh at each other, laugh at one another. What I think the biggest issue right now is we can't have a conversation like you and I do and joke about things and lighten things up and come in.
So you're concerned about political correctness?
Political correctness, I think, stops everything. Because all of a sudden you can throw out any race card, you can throw out any kind of a shield that protects you, in your opinion, from being called anything. And so let's get rid of that stuff and just talk as people and say, okay, Tom, listen, here's what I think, blah, blah, blah. And and I think by not taking ourselves so seriously, I think we get a lot more done.
I don't disagree with that in general principle. I mean, we can, and I don't want to debate that.
Go ahead, debate it.
No, but we just have a minute to the break. But I'm curious what, in your mind, in my mind, the biggest issue facing America is that we've had 32 years of no growth in wages in the United States. The middle class is dying. What, in your opinion, is the biggest issue facing America?
I'm concerned about the illegal immigration thing. Of course, that's in Congress right now. And I think that has a lot to do with the lack of growth. For example, when I was a kid, I could get a paper route. I worked at a movie theater as when I was younger. Most of those entry-level positions are being taken by illegal immigrants.
Right.
Every single one of them? No, of course not. But it's harder for younger people to get these entry-level positions because folks are...
But when you and I were kids, if an employer hired somebody who was not a citizen, they could go to jail. Doesn't happen anymore.
I agree. Lock them up. Absolutely. Make it so that folks...
Let's have some perp walks for rich white guys.
Sure, we can talk about that. Absolutely.
We just agreed on something.
All right, there we go.
Okay, we've solved the immigration problem. We'll come up with another one in a minute. Rusty Humphries Show, the Thom Hartmann Program. The first half hour here today being simulcast. We'll be right back. It's 15 minutes past the hour.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
Thom Hartmann, Rusty Humphries, right here. Stick around. 16 minutes past the hour. And welcome back. Thom Hartmann here with you. Rusty Humphries here with you.
Is this for the non-commercial stuff?
Yes,
now?
we
okay,
are.
do me a favor, would you
sir.
please donate to this station, please? This is a pledge drive, and just give us call right now. Give as much money as you can. Please help. Yes,
freespeech.org.
There you go. Please help them.
Okay. Ed in Klamath Falls, Oregon, watching us on Dish Network on Free Speech TV. And you know where Klamath Falls is.
I do. I lived in Grants Pass, Oregon,
indeed.
for a long time.
So, Ed, you're on with Thom and Rusty.
Gentlemen, I think that the explosion in Boston, we have to consider that perhaps it's a disaffected member of Homeland Security that's responsible. Not a conspiracy, mind you, but say someone that can't meet their mortgage without overtime, and probably a memo went out after the sequester that said no more overtime, period. And I imagine 15 minutes after the explosion, that memo was canceled.
So you're going to blame this on the sequester, Ed?
Yes,
now that's just kooky talk. Can I just say that? That's kooky talk, Ed. I'm sorry. Move on. Go. Alex Jones isn't here today. Sorry.
Ed, thanks for the call.
So you have kooky calls too?
Well, I think Ed's a regular caller. I think he was calling with tongue in cheek, but
I hope so, because you know what? There's going to be a lot of people that have that. There's radio shows that have those kind of conspiracy theories, and it is really damaging, I believe. I think it's really damaging to the mindset of this country. The thing that concerns me is the corrosive impact of
my side, your side, preempting things.
Shut up, Tom. No, I'm kidding.
We see this right now where if Obama comes out with a policy that the Republicans have been proposing 2 months earlier, all of a sudden there's a bunch of Republicans, not all, but there's some who will automatically, reflexively say, oh, no, we can't do that. Now that's Obama's policy.
I don't think it's that.
And I think if it was Bush, it would have been the same.
Yeah, okay. But the problem that I have with Obama is he does a lot of talking and not a lot of action. And when he proposes things that sound good to my side, they don't tend to happen. It's a lot of saying, oh, well, we're going to cut the budget. We're going to stop spending. Oh, boy.
What can he do when he doesn't control Congress?
He could certainly work with Congress to try to get that to happen. Oh, I'm going to talk with Republicans. We're going to have meeting after meeting, and there's
That's
no
what he's
meetings.
doing.
He's had a couple, and I've talked to the congressmen that have been there. And it's the congressmen sit down, and they get to write out their questions. 3 questions get picked. He gives them a lecture. 3 guys ask questions. He answers in a minute soundbite and leaves. There wasn't really a conversation. There wasn't a chance for them to be heard. It was, okay, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do, and you guys do it. And they go, I'm not doing what you're doing. Yeah. So, neither side is doing what we're doing. Neither side is sitting down saying, okay. For example, Harry Reid, and we can talk about this later on if you want. Yeah. I know Harry Reid personally. Harry Reid used to come to my house when I used to do my radio show. I've had dinner. Harry Reid, how many seconds?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. I'll save this story. We can talk about this later if you want.
Okay, yeah.
Because we just aren't trying to get along. That's the problem. It's too tied up into, we've got this many votes, this many senators, this many congressmen, and we're going to stay in our little cliques. We're going to stay in our caucuses, and that's it. And that's our problem.
Yeah, it seems to me that it's a your side, my side that we haven't really seen in the United States since the Truman administration, since the 47, 48.
Right.
Harry Truman running against the Do Nothing Congress, and really what he was running against was this kind of absolute gridlock that had seized Congress, particularly after the whole thing with Taft-Hartley.
Sure, and there was a lot of it. Okay,
but we'll get back.
We'll get to it.
We'll be back.
To it.
Stick around.